So if your child has myopia or is at risk of myopia, then you need to be finding some sort of first step into getting some myopia control, not just correcting the distance vision. So there are so many things available now that really, unless you've got good proof that myopia is not progressing, then you need to be seeking out some way of managing that myopia. But from a controllable lifestyle point of view, there's very, very strong evidence that certainly for myopia prevention or delay, spending time outside more than, I think it's like 14 hours a week, so we're looking at 90 minutes to 2 hours a day outside, is protective. And it doesn't mean that your child won't become short-sighted, but the link is that it tends to delay the onset. And the longer we can delay the onset, the less short-sighted and the lower the speed that a child becomes short-sighted if they do eventually start that way. And then also minimising intense near work, trying to reduce down any unnecessary use of devices and screens, and getting the kids to start taking breaks. Sort of every 45 minutes they need to get up and take a decent 5 or 10 minute break. And as we've discussed before on various visual hygiene things, a break from one device doesn't mean you go and pick up a phone or move to another device. It means getting out and moving and using your vision for what it's really designed for, and that's moving through the world. And the more time you can get outside in green space.
My son was in junior high school a year or two ago, and the school's like literally just around the corner, so he could get there like in a couple of minutes. But now he's going to a high school where he actually has to walk like 30 minutes to get there, 30 minutes back. And I think that's great from a number of different aspects, one of which is like, he's actually getting out there and moving through the world like you said.
Look, I think there's a lot to be said about incidental kind of things like that. I mean, from an exercise point of view, I remember one of my early jobs, I was working in a more retail practice, and we were in a large shopping centre, and there were certainly escalators and lifts and those sorts of things available to get from the car park to work, but I would purposely not take them and take the stairs and not necessarily try and chase down the closest park to where I work to get that incidental exercise. And I'm sure if families put their mind to it, there would be lots of other incidental ways where you can get outside more often. I mean, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be someone who's doing these amazing physical feats outside. You just need to be outside moving around away from devices.